If you've been on a ketogenic diet for any length of time, you may notice that at a certain point that your weight loss tends to slow down. And we're going to share with you 5 reasons that you may experience slower fat loss while on a ketogenic diet.
So let's go ahead and start with one that I think is really overlooked, and that is medications. There are many medications that will slow your weight loss or cause weight gain directly. High blood pressure medications are certainly one of those. Antidepressants are another. There's a wide range of them.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of them. You'll definitely need, if you're on any medication, you need to Google it, find out what some of the side effects are. I mean, there's usually a list.
Yeah. Go ahead and just Google your medication side effects and put in your medication and find out if that is an issue for you.
It is often overlooked because if you're taking medications every day and you've been doing it for a while, you tend to kind of forget that that's something that you are intaking every day, and you overlook that in your mind.
Yeah. So good thing for you to be aware of. Another thing that plays in is age, right? And so we tend to be young and have a good strong metabolism, and then somewhere in our late 20s 30s, right, we start to go the other direction, which is painful for me to say because that was a couple of decades ago.
Right. So fat loss is a hormonally driven issue. So with women, obviously we think about menopause, and the belly fat and the redistribution of fat that happens during that time. Men can experience a similar thing. I like to call it menopause, but our testosterone levels naturally tend to decrease over time, which can make it difficult to lose fat and sometimes may even gain weight.
Yeah, and that's not to say that it's hopeless as we get older, right? Obviously, you lost 80 pounds. You were in your mid-50s. So it certainly can happen. A low carb or a keto diet is a good path to be on, but you just have to be aware that as we age, things will slow down.
Yeah, things are not like they were when you were 20.
Most people would agree with that as we get older. And then we also want to acknowledge that your weight loss will slow down the closer you are to your goal weight.
Right. So I started at 250, got down to 170. That's an 80-pound weight loss. I was certainly burning a lot more calories every day carrying an extra 80 pounds around. I mean, if you can imagine carrying an 80-pound sack of flour on your shoulder, just go up the stairs, one time. That's a lot of energy. So my metabolism has slowed down, become more efficient as I have dropped weight and moved closer to my goal. I just need less calories.
Yeah, and so that's just something that you have to acknowledge, but just keep going. Like what I always like to say is, the ultimate goal of a good weight loss program is that it's easy to follow, enjoyable, and effective, right? My 3 E's, if some of you follow my other channel, I talk about that often. But the whole point is, if you can create a plan that is like that for you, there's really no reason to ever go back to your old ways, and you will eventually reach your goal, but it will slow down as you get closer to your...
It doesn't feel like work after a while.
Right. And kind of tagging along with that, I think we can segue into the 4th reason, which is that the way you ate in the past will influence how well your body will burn fat now. You were 80 pounds overweight for most of our married life.
Yep.
And that led to a state of insulin resistance.
Right. So I was very, very insulin resistant, which makes it difficult to lose weight. And I've been on a ketogenic diet for now 2.5 years, and I'm not 100% positive that I'm getting back to more insulin sensitive at this point. It may just be something that's the way it is.
Yeah, but it really is true that how you've eaten in the past, we create some metabolic debt. So we kind of carry that along, even though we've maybe straightened out our eating, have cut out all the refined carbs. It still might be, a little bit of that daunting from the past that is causing our weight loss to just be a little bit slower than maybe the person who didn't have that past eating history.
Right.
Another thing, and I'll let you kind of jump on this one, is genetics. You really can't overlook genetics. And while not everyone has the same genetic picture, this is an area that is really exploded in our understanding.
Right. In nutritional science, genetics is really kind of taking a forefront. So personally, I was not blessed in the genetics department, obviously. I had my genetics tested. There's a gene called the FTO gene, which is the main obesity gene, and I have a number of half a dozen SNPs as part of that gene that can be turned off, turned on, activated, deactivated, based on what I am eating, based on supplement, based on a lot of different things. So. Right,
and so you said a SNP. So what Keith did was he got his genetics tested through 23andMe. And then we put that raw data through Dr. Rhonda Patrick's formula, and it gave him a very nice, easy to read actually, layout of all of the different SNPs. Now, what is a SNP? It's just a little variant that is on your gene that will predispose you to something like heart disease or obesity. Or things like that. So, and then it also gave recommendations of literally changing the way you eat, changing different lifestyle habits. It was a very, very interesting thing. And you can do this yourself. And I know not everyone's keen on doing DNA testing. You literally you spit into a tube and you send it in and you get your results back. But we will, underneath this video, we will give you the links to where you can get the genetic test, and also we'll link to Dr. Rhonda Patrick's site so that you can get the raw data.
Right, and this is something it's ongoing research. It's continuously being updated. So every few months, Dr. Patrick will release a new version of the algorithm that they use. So you can just re-upload your data. There's a small fee, $10, I think. Mm-hmm. But you can kind of see what additional things they found and if that affects your specific genetic profile.
Yeah. So if you are interested in taking your diet to the next level, it might be something that you want to look into. So there are the 5 things that we wanted to highlight that can slow down your progress. But listen, if you're on a low carb, you're on a keto diet, you are on the right path. Just keep going and you'll get to your goal.
Stick with it.
Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. We'll see you next week. Thanks.